Just looking at the trapezoid, because I want to first get big ass B, right? Area of the base. All this sounds like a weird rap.
So it's
Area of the base, big ass B. So 10, what is it, 10 inches?
8 of base.
And then what are the two bases?
It's 8 and 12.
8 and 12, I love it. So it kind of makes sense. They're 8 inches, 12 inches longer there at the bottom. So I can get the area of the trapezoid now, right?
Isn't it 8 plus 12?
Beautiful, so that's part of it. So 8 plus 12, the sum of the bases,
Multiply
That's 10.
times 10.
half the height, I love it. Half the bases times the height. So it's almost like a triangle. It looks like it wants to be a triangle, it just somebody cut its head off, poor little thing. So the formula, it makes sense that the formula looks a lot like a triangle formula. Half, one base times the height if it's a true triangle, both bases times the height if it's a trapezoid. Same exact kind of formula there, right? And the height, of course, is 10. So half 10 times 20.
10.
Well, half 10 times 20 is 100. 100 what?
100 square inches.
Square inches, I love it. And what do you do with big ass B then? Multiply the height of the whole thing, I love it. So notice, you got to be a little careful. There's a height of the trapezoid, and there's a height of the whole thing. So be a little careful about that fact, right? But the height of the whole thing is 24.
So I'm getting confused with your little b and your big B. I mean, it's like completely thrown me for a loop.
Okay, when do I use little b?
You're not using big as.
When it's just area by itself, right? So if I want an area of a triangle, this is little b,
Okay.
and this is H. When's the first time I talked about big ass B? Volume. And why do we make it a big old B? Because it's not a single number by itself as given to me, but it's the area of the base. So it's still a B because it's the base, but is it just a line now? No, it's a shape. So that's why I call it big ass B, right? Because it's not just a line, it's a shape.
It's the whole area.
The area of whatever that shape is.
Okay, so little b is just a line. Big
Little b is
area.
just a line, big B is an area. I love it. Right? That's why it's a big B. It means more than little b does.
So when that doesn't work for like number 19 because it's a pyramid,
It works. It's just to make a pyramid. How much? If I wanted to make the associated pyramid here, what would I do?
is it the 4/3?
1/3,
1/3.
right?
So
When I
it's-
cut that pyramid out,
So
I'm leaving 2/3 of the stuff. I'm taking 1/3 out.
It'd be 1/3 big ass B.
It'd be 1/3 of whatever we get.
Okay.
Yeah. So to finally finish this thing off, what would it be? Big ass B times H. Big ass B was 100. I just like to say that. Times 24. 2400.
Square inch.
Careful.
Cubic inches.
Cubic inches. Because it's square inches times another inch gives me cubic inches now, right? Okay.
So with volume is cubed and with area is squared?
Beautiful. Why? Because area you have 2 directions you can go. Volume you have
Cube, you have
3. Length I have 1 direction I can go. That's why it's the first dimension. Cool. The 3 physical dimensions we live in. So volume would fill that up. So like 19 was just referenced. It was cut out of a... Let me see here. What is the shape of the base?
A square.
A square. So it was cut out of a cube. They cut that out. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's not too bad, right? So that's the shape. Oh, thanks, Ryan. That's the shape that they have in the book. Just the pyramid by itself.
Yeah.
The height of the pyramid is what?
13.
13. So how would you find the volume of the whole thing?
11.
That's easy, right? Length times width times height.
Yes.
So what's the volume of that pyramid? 1/3. 11 times 11 times 13.
Makes sense.
Okay, maybe. So the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the area of the base times its height. Right? So it's really not important that you necessarily know where it was cut out of. That was kind of neat too.
So the height of that pyramid is 13 inches.
Sorry, I'm easily amused.
But 13,
Yes, 13 inches. And again, the book, I think, will always have a better picture than mine on the board. Right?
That's pretty good. I don't know how they can do that.
Is it centimeters? I think I put inches in. I think it's supposed to be centimeters 19.
So 1/2 the base, the area of the base, which is 11.
1/3.
I'm sorry, 1/3.
The area of the base times the height of the pyramid.
So we multiply 1/3 times the result of 11 by 11, which is 121.
Beautiful. Times.
And then we multiply that by
13.
centimeters.
I love it.
And that is
So the volume of this pyramid would be 1/3. The base is just 11 times 11, right?
The base would be 11 times 11.
Times the height, 13.
And it's 524.3.
What?
That.
I know.
Centimeter.
Oh, centimeters.
Centimeter
Cubes.
cubed. Cubic centimeters. Cool. And we'll put cubic centimeters. Have you guys ever heard cubic centimeters before?
So is it like 41?
You watch ER or something and they say, give me 500 cc's of that
Yeah.
stat. What's a cc? Cubic
Centimeter.
centimeters. Cool. Neato. So you hear that all the damn time. You're like, that's just
And then
something.
they-
Now you know it's cubic centimeters. Or some of you guys might probably already knew that. All right, guys.
Can you,
Yeah.
so can you just work that problem out for me real quick?
Well, now it's just plug in the calculator, right? So it'll be 1/3 of 121.
So do we divide 121 by 3
Sure.
and then multiply that by 13?
Yes.
So, I mean, because we're going to wind up with a decimal like 40.3.
You will. And that's real life, right? Of course.
Okay.
Real life doesn't only give you whole numbers, yeah?
All right.
Cool.
Well, it should.
Aw. It should, huh? I don't think you want that. The round gas up, you know.
As long as they
When
get
it
the
gets
right-
over 4, round it up to
the right
5. Let's make it a whole
number.
number for everybody. No, let's not.
519?
All right, guys. So some of you look very, very happy to be here. I understand that. I mean, come on, it's math. But any other questions from chapter 9? Yeah.
Number 50, part B.
9-4? Oh yeah, 50 is that like trench. It's a flower box, but it always looks like a horse water trough to me. You know, those kind of. Page 564. Number 50. So it's got this here. Look to it. Let me see. I'm really pushing my luck here. That's certainly something. Oh well. All right. Screw it. It's terrible, Jeff. It's horrible. All right. Let's see. This is 9 inches tall. 8 inches at the bottom. They tell you way over here that it's 12 inches across, and this is 4 feet, which is 48 inches. So right there, just make sure everything agrees, right? Don't mess yourself up later. So they want it in cubic inches, and then they want it in cubic feet. So was the problem, so the problem is doing it the other way. So what I just did makes it easy to do cubic inches, right? Now let me show you. So what did you get for part A then? Part A, the volume would be the area of the trapezoid times, in this case, the length here, right? But the height if I were to stand it up. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So what's the area of that trapezoid? Yeah, 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. Beautiful.
So that's 8 and 12?
How we doing? Half of 20 is 10 times 9 is 90. So you get 90,
What's the top 120 or what?
12.
9 is the
Inches
height, right?
cubed.
9 is the height, that's right. Squared. Careful, that's just an area. 9 is the height of the trapezoid. And of course I multiply that to get the volume, I multiply that by
90 square inches multiplied by 4, 14 square inches.
48, right? How we doing? Wouldn't want to multiply by 4 because that would be feet and inches. What's a foot inch square? I don't know. Let me just keep them all the same units. So times the, so I got the area of the base here. I'm now going to multiply by how much it's repeated. to get the volume of the whole thing. So times the 48 inches.
4,320 cubic inches.
4,320? Sounds about right, yeah. Now here's the cool thing, now watch. You guys have already answered this question if you did the earlier homework. If I have a 1 cubic foot little box, right? How many cubic inches is that? 1 foot would be, well, that 1 foot is 12 inches, that 1 foot is 12 inches, that 1 foot is 12 inches. Careful. What do you do? You get the volume?
Length by width by height.
Multiply.
36.
Multiply. Not add. Multiply.
1,728.
Multiply. Huh?
1,728.
Yeah, 1728. Do you guys remember that? There was a problem earlier in the semester that had to do that? Now you could, now listen, you could go back and instead of making that feet in the inches, make each of these into feet, which would introduce kind of disgusting fractions here, right? Or you could just say, I've already done a lot of work here. How do I go from cubic inches back to cubic feet? I divide by that. Don't divide by 12. That's the mistake people would make. They think, oh, it's 12 inches in a foot. No. There's that many cubic inches in a cubic foot. You better use the right number for the number of degrees you're in. Right? You're in volume now. You got to cube that 12 to get 1728. So that's the volume in cubic inches. What is it in cubic feet? It'd be 4,320 divided by 1728.
2.5.
2.5? Free. 2.5 cubic feet. So there's a freebie. That works for anything. Anything. So if I know, what do I know, Jeff? If I know there's 2.54 centimeters in every inch, how would you figure out how many square centimeters in a square inch? You would take 2.54 and square it. So if you know the basic conversion, and you want to know square units, cubic units, you just square and cube the number from what you know, just like we did right there.
So for every cubic foot, the 1728 will be a fifth.
Exactly. So I have 1 foot is 12 inches. What's 1 square foot? How many square inches?
144.
144, 12 squared. And do it one more time, and you get 1728 cubic inches.
So when it asks us to define between cubic inches and cubic feet, then we subtract the two? Or no, you divided the two.
I divide
You
the
divide
cubic
seven.
inches by the number of cubic inches to make a foot, cubic foot. Yep. Now what's the other way you could do this? Instead of changing that to inches, keep it as feet, and then what would this be? 12 inches is 1 foot. 8 inches is 8/12 of a foot, right? 2/3 of a foot. 9 inches is 9/12 of a foot. 3/4. So then you can do the area of this in square feet and multiply by 4 feet, right?
That's just me.
Yeah, do you guys see how that's disgusting? But what did I do? Didn't I divide everything? I divided these sides by 12 and I divided this by 12. So 1, 2, 3 divisions by 12. That's why I divide that by 3/12, which is that. I don't know if you guys followed me on that, but that's all there is to it. Every time there's a foot, I got to make it an inch, or the other way around, right? There's 3 inches in here, cubic inches. So each one of them have to be divided by 12. That's why I have to divide by 12 cubed, 1728, to make that conversion work.